Conference. The Pistons won tonight. Celtics idle. Knicks tying Boston at 43 wins, but they're a game behind the Celtics in the overall standings. Cavs won tonight. They remain fourth overall. Great to have you with us here from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pito along with Alan Hahn. Doesn't matter who's playing when these two teams go after one another. Yeah. You had no Karl-Anthony Towns, no Josh Hart. Each of those Knicks out with a bad knee. Pascal Siakam not playing for the Pacers. Didn't matter. As always, went right down to the wire. And tonight in this one, the Knicks were able to prevail. Yeah, it's always personal with Rick Carlisle and the Knicks. You could tell the way he plays his players against this team and how much he plays them against this team. And the Knicks several times had leads in this game that you thought they could just pull away, especially in the third quarter. They went up 15, and it felt like, okay, they can get on a roll and put an end to this game. But the Pacers kept fighting back. The Knicks weren't playing very good defense in the pocket of the game, allowed them to come back. It took one more stretch, and it took an outstanding, dominant game by Mitchell Robinson for the Knicks to win this and to have now a winning road trip. 3 wins out of the 5 games, and that's considered a success. All right, Alan, let us bring in Monica McNutt. She helped call the game tonight on TV. Tyler Murray. Monica, thanks for joining us. What do you think?
I'm with Hahn. That's always more contested than you think it would be based on all the stats you prepare for. I mean, this is a bottom-rated defense, bottom-rated offense, all the things. They won 15 games. Are you kidding me? But showed tremendous poise down the stretch, and I like what Mitchell Robinson said about this next run of games where you don't necessarily see a lot of opponents that you highlight or circle. This team has to continue to keep working on getting together, and obviously for him, I think this was very personal for him, making sure he's in the best conditioning possible as he played a season high in minutes. Yeah, how about that? You guys were talking with Mitchell Robinson, Mon, and I had to do the math because of his numbers. He got 41% of the team's rebounds in this game. 41%. 80% of the offensive rebounds and 41% of the rebounds. I mean, Jalen Brunson had a great first half, but you could argue, like, this is the player of the game. Like, he is the reason why they won this game. I mean, he was a unstoppable force in many ways, right? Like, through both halves, to your point. The 3 that we highlighted down the stretch by Mikal Bridges is truly a Mitchell Robinson offensive rebound assist, if you will, if we can make up a statistical category. But no, I agree. I was curious to see what it would look like for him to battle against Zubac, and there were some fun moments with that tonight. But just in general, his effort on the glass and his screen setting, his handoffs, his patience when he had to make the plays, make passes. And I will say, I love this effort by the team to get him the ball where only he can get it. These alley-oop plays, yes, they're highlights and they're oohs and ahs, but they're also really sound when you look at how he plays his best basketball and how he can be and put in positions to be most successful. You were right there. You're right there courtside, and we were just saying beforehand how it doesn't matter who the Pacers have. It always feels like Rick Carlisle and that group, they see the Knicks, they want to win. They don't care. And you're there. Like, what are you noticing with this? Because as much as Rick Carlisle talks about, oh, I have to manage my rotations and I have to worry about my players and all this stuff, we know what he's up to because they came here and they played everyone a whole game and took the Knicks to overtime and won. And the very next night, sat everyone. And then last night, Nembhard and Zubac play only in the first half, not in the second half. Tonight, the whole game. There's definitely something extra about when. You know what? I should have known something was up when, during his soliloquy about the strategy that his team is employing right now to protect players, because it's about player safety. The minutes are about player safety. Yeah, sure. When he said about Zubac, he is looking for quality minutes to help this team continue to develop looking ahead, right? And so to your point, with all of the history between these two teams, this is a great opportunity against another quality big in the league to allow this team to get some development time together. So I should have known something was up just based on the history. And Tyler and I said it on the broadcast a couple times. In that third quarter, if you watched their last matchup versus Phoenix, in that third quarter, the Suns really took over. There was a stretch with about 6 minutes to go in the third where you're like, okay, historically, we're about to get some substitutions, but that is not what happened versus the New York Knicks, and it did proceed to be a game that required clutch time. But I give a ton of props to the Knicks because I thought they were really poised in a situation where we know it hasn't always turned out in the Knicks' favor. All right, Monica, thanks so much. Have a great trip home. Welcome home, Monica. We'll see you next week. Great job on the trip, Monica. Yes. Great job. Thank you, guys. See you next week. All right. So Jalen Brunson, Allen, 9 more assists, keeps racking up. Breathe like a winner, presented by Blue Air. Jalen Brunson's our focus
for this.
It was important for the Knicks to get off to a good start. We've been talking about the rough starts they had on this 23 points in the first half, and it was a lot of what we have seen over the years when he's matched up against Neesmith and Nembhard and good friend T.J. McConnell. He also had words, I thought, which was great with Rick Carlisle during the game as well. I think he likes being the villain in that building just as much as Halliburton likes being the villain in the Garden.
How about his assist numbers, as I mentioned?
Yeah,
coming into this game,
they'd be higher if guys made shots too.
9
really
more
made shots tonight.
He's averaging double-digit assists over his last handful of games.
Yeah,
even when he's not scoring, and he has scored now the last 3, 28, 28, and 29.
Yep.
He's still getting the assist numbers.
Yeah, and that's got to be a thing, especially when you know when we get to the playoffs. We all know they're gonna bottle him up. They're going to do some things like the Lakers did. They're going to send wings from the side. They're going to do some things like the Lakers did. They're going to send wings from the sides to take away his peripheral vision, the ability to do the spray out threes to the corners. He's got to start being able to almost feel, not even see, feel where his teammates are going to be to make easy passes. When a big helps, he's starting to find those little pocket passes and the ability to get guys like Anunoby or get guys like we saw tonight, Mitchell Robinson. And what you really want to see at some point, he and Karl-Anthony Towns develop a little two-man game to work together as well.
Towns out tonight, sore knee. Mitchell Robinson, as we've discussed, gets the start. Season high, 31 minutes played.
Phenomenal.
Career high, 22 rebounds, and also 12 points. Yeah, Brunson went for the 29, but as you mentioned a couple of moments ago, this might be Mitchell Robinson's game.
Yeah, no, this is player of the game kind of stuff, too. And I think Jalen Brunson would admit to it as well because of just how important he was, especially down the stretch. The tip-ins, those are easy. The lobs
especially because Josh Hart didn't play, right?
He's a big rebound guy, certainly as well. And Karl-Anthony Towns, who's number 2 in the league in rebounding, was not in this game. So they needed all of it, and he provided it, and that's a good sign. But the better sign is the 31 minutes that he played in this game because they have been very careful with his minutes, as they should be, in managing him throughout this season. He has not played more than 27 or 28 minutes so far this season. He noted it himself, by the way, in the interview with Tyler and Monica when he said season high. He knew it, that he played a lot. They want to get him conditioned to be able to play. So this was a really good sign in this game that his conditioning was where it needed to be, where he can finish a game as strong as he did on the boards, playing a season high in minutes.
And obviously the big factor is playing time increase.
Yep.
He had a monster of a game. You know, the 12 points, 22 rebounds. It was a really, really big game for him. But on the road, you know, you have to take care of the You have to take care of the basket. OG was huge for us. I mean, his ability to attack the rim tonight was big time, especially with the force that he did to get the 9 free throws. You know, he was a man on a mission, and he knocked his free throws down, but he also tried to make timely passes. He had 5 assists. You know, this is one of our lower assist games because we didn't shoot the ball well. But having said that, you know, OG with 5, Jalen with 9, and that was 14 of our 20 assists. So OG, again, attacked the rim. He got to the free throw line, but just as importantly, he set his teammates up too.
You mentioned Mitch was the defensive player of the game. Besides his impact, I think that was a season high minutes that he played 31. You know, how good is it, you know, with the plan that you guys have had, that he can have, you know, at this point in the season, late in the season, he's going up, you know, this way in terms of his workload, that he can have that kind of big workload like you did tonight.
Yeah, you know, it's huge, and I said this before. Our doctors, our medical performance group, you know, led by Casey, Chico, and Quentin, they put a nice plan together with Mitch and his group, and you know, it's obviously shown that it's paid off because of his ability, knock on wood, to stay on the floor and play in games, and like you said, play the minutes he played tonight. And so I applaud those guys.
What do you like about some of the bench guys? You know, obviously no Josh, no Cat, you know,